good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are watching this video. Welcome to Great Trading Lab. Before we get started, kindly click on the subscription button, like and share this video. I talked about some trade that I was expecting last week on my previous video, and if you are on my free Telegram, you're also going to see that I dropped a couple of trades on BTC, I think even GBP/USD, GBP/CHF too, and we are still holding this GBP/CHF sell, and this is what we are expecting next week. As you can see on the daily, we are still very much bearish on the daily. Still very much bearish on the daily. We had this swift break and a retest here, and we are expecting price to go down to 1.04500 around this point. But for now we are still in this point, and I'm expecting a little bit of pullback on Monday. Probably to this point, probably to here. Then we have a push again to the downside. If you are following my signals on the free Telegram, you are going to see when I talked about this break and a retest before this sell, and I'm also expecting a retracement to this point around this zone. Then we have a big sell that we are expecting, and that is it for GBP/CHF. GBP/USD, I dropped a signal on GBP/USD, but we hit SL. I think that is the only SL we hit last week, and presently I'm expecting a retracement. On the daily, it's not as if I said something on the group that I was going to explain why I was going to buy this trade again. If you notice, in this point we have a retracement here, like the market came to this point, sold down, the same thing here. And if you also look down, like if you go to the bigger time frame, so we're having a little bit of network issue. So if you go down, you are going to also see that the market reacted somewhere here. You are going to see that the market reacted here, and also if you look down, you are going to see that we have other reaction here. As you can see on this zone here, we have other reaction here on this zone, as you can see. So not as if this zone was wrong or we're wrong about this zone. You know that the zone is a support is when you have more than 3 touches. So we had more than 3 touches on the weekly time frame, and so the support zone was very much valid. But we also have another support here below this point. And you see that in this particular support, you will see that the market reacted on this point more than the way the market reacted on that first point where we took our first entry from. On the structure, we are still very much bullish. On the weekly, we are bullish. On the daily, we are bullish, as you can see. But you will notice that this particular zone that we are now is more stronger than this other zone. Like we had a rejection here, we had a rejection, we had also a rejection here, we had a rejection here, we also had a rejection here. The market reacted to all these places, even this point, we had a reaction here. We also had serious reactions on this particular zone. And if you look, you are going to see that the reaction that we had in this second zone is more than the reaction that we had on the first zone where we took our trade. So we are going to see that this particular zone is a very strong zone. So I'm very much interested on this trade next week, and I'll be taking this GBP USD trade next week. So if you look on the 4 hours, we had a bullish hammer candlestick on the 4 hours. As you can see, we had this rejection week, this bullish hammer, and this is what I'm expecting. You know, we had a change of structure. This is the lower high, this is the lower high, and this is the lowest low, the lowest point of the market. So now we have broken the lower high. And you know that if you have been following my video, I've been talking about if we have a break of structure, we must have a retracement. So now I'm going to be waiting for this market to retrace to this point, to 1.35294, and then before we'll buy up to the upside. So this is what I'm expecting for GBP USD, and this is why I say GBP USD trade is still very much valued. We are still going to retake GBP USD buy. And then the almighty BTC USD, we had series of entries on BTC USD. As you can see, if you are following my video, I've been talking about BTC USD sales, but presently I'm expecting a buy, because if you go to the 1 month time frame, you're going to see that that this is a higher low, this is the highest point of the market. Wait, let me take out all my drawings so that you are going to see my screen. Let me just take the drawing out for now. So that you guys will see my screen. So on the monthly time frame, as you can see, this is the highest low, and then this is the higher high. As you can see, price didn't break out from this particular point. We had series of weeks, like we had the first week, the second one, the third one, and this fourth one. Price didn't break above that point, so this is the highest point of the market. And now on the 1 month time frame, we had series of reaction here at this point, at this particular point. So you are going to know that this zone now is a strong zone, because BTC came to this point, it didn't break this particular point. Also here, the second time it tried to break above that point, but it didn't. Then we broke above this point later, and then we had a as you can see, we broke above this point here. We had a retracement to this point, making it a valid zone. So I'm going to mark out this point here. We retrace back to this point here to make it a valid zone, and then we broke this structure. We broke the higher low. And if you have been following my video, I do say if we have a break, we must have a retracement. Not really every time though, but we will always have a retracement. And this particular scenario here, we have a very strong support on this point. So what I'm expecting this retracement from here back to this point before maybe any sell, or maybe the or BTC will continue going up. But before any sell, like maybe down to 40,000, because if we have this retracement and then BTC eventually starts selling, we'll be looking down for BTC to get to this zone here, maybe 35,000 or 29,000, around that area. That's where we'll be expecting BTC to get to, because if you notice this point, we had a reaction here, we had the break and retest on that point. Also, price also reacted here. We had the pull down to this point, price also reacted on this particular place, and also the same thing here, price reacted on that point. So we'll be expecting price to bounce off from this zone and push up to, let me say, around 90,000, 100,000 before any sell is going to continue. But you know, the market is very much bearish, and we can still have a push to break that zone. But I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting the market to bounce off and then pull back to this point before we continue selling to the downside. So if you also check on the 3 months time frame, we just broke below this higher low. So we need to have a retracement back to this point here. If you notice, when price broke out from this zone, price reacted on this zone and brought out this bullish doji candlestick, and also price also reacted on this particular candlestick. So from this particular place, I'm expecting price to bounce off from here to the upside. So this is what I'm expecting for BTCUSD. On the daily, or let me see, on the weekly, as you can see, we are also, like, the market is also very much bearish on the weekly time frame, like very much bearish. I'll be thinking of buying BTC if this is what I'm expecting from BTC before I buy BTCUSD. I'll be expecting price to break above this point, and then we have a retracement back to this zone, and then we continue the buy to the upside. This is what I'm expecting on the daily. But at the same time, we can have a reaction like this, like a pullback to this point, and then a change of structure here. But what I'll be expecting is a break above this level. You know, this is the lowest high of the market, because the market is bearish, and this is the lowest low of the market. So when we break below this point, we are the market have changed to a new a lower high and also a lower low. So if we break above, the market is creating higher high and higher lows. So I'll be expecting the market to create a higher high and also a lower low, so that I'm going to be looking for a buy on BTC USD. So I'll be expecting price to break above this higher, then we have a retracement back to this level, and then before I take my trade. So this is what I'll be expecting on BTC USD. Then what I'll be expecting next week on USD JPY. What I'll be expecting next week on USD JPY, we are very much bearish on this pair, on the weekly, on the daily, and also on the 4 hours. As you can see, on the weekly, we just had a change of structure. Like the market was bullish and we just had a change of structure to the downside. We had a break here and a retracement, so we are expecting USD JPY to go bearish. But this USD JPY, I will not be taking this USD JPY trade, or I will not be also dropping it on the group. The trade I will be interested on is this USD CAD. USD CAD, we are very much bearish. We broke below this point here. As you can see, the market have been reacting on this particular zone. So we broke below this point. So on the daily, we broke below that point, so that makes that particular point a very strong zone. So on the daily, we are bullish on the daily, but I'm going to be entering this trade when this candlestick, is trying to form a hanging man candlestick. It's trying to form a hanging man candlestick. So when we break below this, so that we are expecting price now to open below this point. So when price open below this point and let me say close here, then I'll be, or if price close below that point and we are bearish on the 4 hours, I will be entering the candlestick. Let me just check the 4 hours first. Okay, we had a change of structure on the 4 hours. So if we have, on the 4 hours, we had a break of structure. We have a change of structure here, and we are retracing back to this point. So I'll be expecting a reversal candlestick from here and then a sell to the downside. And then on the daily, this is when we are going to be having our full hanging man. We are going to be having a new entry from here down here before the market starts selling. So this is what I'll be expecting on USD CAD. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and also share this video, and also click the link on my profile to join my free Telegram. Thank you and God bless.